The Jedi Order, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, are known for their wisdom, discipline, and emotional control. But how do their teachings compare to the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which also emphasizes self-mastery, virtue, and inner peace? At the heart of Jedi philosophy lies the pursuit of emotional balance. The Jedi Code teaches that one must avoid attachments and control emotions like anger and fear, which can lead to the dark side. In a similar way, Stoicism, a school of philosophy that emerged in ancient Greece, advocates for mastery over destructive emotions and desires. For both the Jedi and the Stoics, true strength comes from within, from maintaining inner peace despite external challenges. But let's break down these philosophies in greater detail. Yoda's advice to Anakin Skywalker captures a central tenet of Jedi teachings. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. This progression describes how unchecked emotions can spiral out of control, ultimately leading to the loss of self and moral clarity. The Jedi believe that fear, especially the fear of loss, is one of the most dangerous emotions because it leads to attachment and clouds judgment. In Stoicism, the philosopher Epictetus offers similar guidance. He teaches that our emotions, particularly fear and desire, are rooted in false judgments. According to Stoicism, fear arises from the mistaken belief that we are in danger of losing something valuable, whether it be our possessions, relationships, or even our lives. But in truth, everything external to us is ultimately beyond our control. The Stoic goal, much like the Jedi's, is to focus only on what we can control, our own thoughts, attitudes, and actions, and to accept the rest with calmness. The Jedi and the Stoics both emphasize the importance of mindfulness and self-reflection. Jedi are taught to meditate regularly, to center themselves in the Force, and to maintain a clear, focused mind. This is echoed in Stoicism, where philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us to regularly examine our own thoughts and behaviors. In his Meditations, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Both the Jedi and Stoics understand that true peace comes from within, from aligning one's mind with a greater cosmic order, whether it's the Force or the Stoic concept of logos, the rational structure of the universe. This inner clarity helps one navigate the challenges of life with grace and composure. Another key similarity between Jedi philosophy and Stoicism is their attitude toward emotional discipline. The Jedi, like the Stoics, do not suggest that emotions should be entirely eliminated. Instead, both philosophies advocate for recognizing emotions without allowing them to control us. In Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan Kenobi advises Anakin to be mindful of his feelings, teaching him to observe his emotions without being ruled by them. For the Stoics, the concept of apatheia, not to be confused with apathy, refers to a state of emotional equilibrium. It means being free from irrational passions while still experiencing natural emotions like love and concern, but in a balanced, rational way. Similarly, the Jedi are encouraged to feel compassion and love for others, but without attachment, which can lead to possessiveness and fear of loss. Yoda's teachings about mindfulness, especially his advice to Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back, highlight another shared principle between Jedi philosophy and Stoicism: the importance of focusing on the present moment. Yoda tells Luke, all his life has he looked away, to the future, to the horizon. never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. This echoes the Stoic belief that worrying about the future or dwelling on the past only distracts us from the present moment, the only time in which we truly have power. As Marcus Aurelius writes, "Confine yourself to the present. The present moment is all we ever have." Both the Jedi and Stoics recognize that by living in the present, we can free ourselves from unnecessary anxieties and make better, more rational decisions. Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side is a powerful illustration of what happens when emotions and attachments are left unchecked. His fear of losing Padme and his desire for power lead him down a path of destruction. This underscores the Jedi belief that attachment and the desire to control the future can corrupt even the best intentions. The Stoics too warn of the dangers of excessive attachment. Epictetus teaches that we should love and appreciate the people in our lives, but remember that nothing is truly ours to keep. Everything is temporary. When we cling too tightly to external things, whether people, possessions, or power, we become vulnerable to suffering. Instead, the Stoic seeks to love without attachment, accepting the impermanence of all things with equanimity. Obi-Wan Kenobi's peaceful acceptance of death in A New Hope perfectly embodies both Jedi and Stoic ideals. Obi-Wan does not fear death, for he understands it as a natural part of life, a return to the Force. His serenity in the face of death reflects the Stoic attitude that death is not something to be feared, but accepted as part of the natural order. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca writes, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Both Obi-Wan and the Stoics viewed death not as an end, but as a transition, an inevitable event that should be met with grace and acceptance rather than fear or resistance. In the end, the Jedi philosophy and Stoicism share many fundamental values: emotional control, mindfulness, acceptance of life's impermanence, and the pursuit of inner peace. Both traditions emphasize that true strength comes not from external power, but from mastery over one's own mind and emotions. Whether through the Force or through reason, the Jedi and the Stoics teach us to live with purpose, balance, and wisdom in a chaotic and uncertain world. By comparing these two philosophies, we can learn valuable lessons about how to navigate life's challenges, remaining calm in the face of adversity, practicing emotional discipline, and finding meaning in every moment. Both the Jedi and the Stoics remind us that the path to wisdom and balance is a lifelong journey, but one well worth taking.